Hi, welcome back to episode 17 of the DrewCast. I am your host, Mellow15, and in studio tonight, guys, I got Jo behind the soundboard and camera. So again, if you're new to this channel, don't ask me why I play this song, bro. You know what I mean? I might just have to reach out to Abel and be like, hey, bro, throw your boy the beat, dude. You know what I mean? Because earlier this week, yes, I did reach out to a producer on YouTube. His name is Synthwave Goose. Don't ask me how he came up with the name. It's actually kind of filthy. I heard a beat on TikTok, right? So this is how it started. I heard a beat on TikTok, and I was like, bro, it was called Synthwave Goose Blade Runner 2049. And I was like, hey, this is it. I fell in love. This is it. This is the podcast beat. I reach out to the guy, and I'm like, hey, bro, I want to buy it. I'm super interested. He reached back. I can't buy it. He said he has other plans for it. He was like, hey, I got other plans for the beat. Thanks for reaching out. Kind of broke my heart. So now I'm going to have to ask Abel. We're getting Save Your Tears, dude, how big do you think that'd be? Justin, bro, if Weekend literally said yes, you can use that as a theme song to your podcast. What are we doing? Am I famous? Bro, let's say I don't get 1 million subscribers ever, okay? But Weekend does reach out and says that I can have am I famous?
There's people who have got
famous on that?
No, something like that.
Well, so before we get started tonight, guys, last week I did a segment on Parler. I don't think I made myself clear here. Because anytime I've ever talked about censorship, which is just last week, I act like I've done it every episode. You know, I was like, oh, every time no, it's just one episode last week. It's kind of a tough subject. All right. The whole point of last week's segment was I was just trying to clown on my aunt, dude. Like, that's literally the only thing that segment was. I don't actually believe in censoring people. I don't actually believe in like deplatforming people, but I also don't think racist people should have a platform. So I'm kind of stuck. At the same time, I don't believe in censorship, but at the same time, it's like you got like, come on, there's a certain people you just gotta like, you gotta sweep them. You gotta sweep them, dude. Trump it was your time, dog. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you could tell when he was waving today to send, I think it was like his final, he was like going into a helicopter. It was like a picture of Trump like waving goodbye. You can just tell, bro, like out of the 4 years he was president, getting his Twitter taken away was probably the worst thing that's happened to him. Out of anything, I guarantee you, out of anything that has happened, that was the kicker right there. He's probably going to talk about that for a long time. What were your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that, by the way, like censorship, or do you like? I don't really like. It's one of those
but not really.
It's hard, bro, because it's like I don't believe.
I get why they're able to do it, but I just think that something needs to be in place so that way they can't just be like, "Hey, we don't like what you say, so you don't deserve a Twitter account."
Yeah, I mean, basically, it comes down to that. The reason I say I don't believe in censorship is because who gets to decide that? Right? That leads to a bigger question. Who gets to decide what can and cannot be on the internet? Now, again, right? I get it. People are going to be like, oh, but we're just talking about racist stuff and stuff that incites violence. Like, I get it, okay? That's why it's a hard topic, because I don't know. I'm not trying to be in the middle here when it comes to that. I'm trying to be like, you know, I'm not trying to play both sides either. There should be somewhat of a thing to like stop people from like being racist and inciting murder and violence, but at the same time, like, if you don't like someone, bro, just don't click on their page. You know what I mean? It's like as simple as that. But Trump got it to where 70+ million people voted for him, and he was still going with like the election fraud lie and so I don't know. At the end of the day, guys, I don't believe in censorship, but I also don't think people like Trump and all these, like, it's touchy, and we're not going to get into here. I'm trying to have a fun time, so you know what I mean. But so to start off the show, off the censorship note, so I was at work, and this always happens at work, by the way. It's not even, and it probably happens to most people, but girls do this a lot. Okay, girls do this more than men, so let's be honest here, because they do. I walked up to this a female, and I was like, "Hey, I like your shirt. Like, oh, you like Vegeta Blue? You like Super Saiyan God Vegeta? Like, cause it was a shirt of Vegeta with blue hair, right? And instead of saying like, "Hey, this isn't my shirt," or "Hey, I don't know what I'm wearing," you can only guess what she said. She did the typical, "Oh, this is my boyfriend's shirt." You know when girls they do the like they plug their boyfriend in every conversation. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You know when girls go, "Oh," I'm like, "Hey, oh, that's hella cool. You have that too." "Yes, my boyfriend's." It's like, no one asked, dude. Nobody fucking asked if it was your boyfriend's. Girls act like you want to fuck them. Like, every girl acts like you want to fuck them, dude. Dude, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter. They just act like we're just. Is that what guys are? Is that our reputation? Have we made it to where we can't even ask a girl a question because now we want to fuck them? Bro, who made it like that? Who made it like that? What guy ruined it, bro? Women, I'm sorry, bro. Women, if it's our fault, let us know. Let us know. We can't ask you a question now.
I saw a meme like that. I'm gonna see if I can find it and I'll post it.
Yeah.
But it was like the guy finds the wallet on the ground
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "Oh, hey, excuse me," till I give it back to her.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Sorry, I have a boyfriend." And like he was kind of like, like, "What? Oh, fuck me, I guess."
I guess,
walks
like-
away with her wallet.
Yeah, like, "Hey, I got your money, bitch." Like,
Yeah.
Bro, it's gone to the point where I'm not surprised that they don't do that at drive-thrus. Like, "Hey, what do you want tonight? Hello, how's your day?" You're like, "Hey, can I get a McChicken? I got a boyfriend." "Oh yeah, dude? Oh yeah." Not only that, it's like single girls do it too, because they know that's the go-to, and they know we won't talk to them after that. Even a single girl, she's single, and you're like, "Hey, oh, that's a really cool scarf. Did you get it at like Hot Topic or the box lunch?" And for people who don't know, box lunch is at the South Center Mall. Fire shop, by the way. I love their pop figures, and not all of them I got. Not all of mine are from there, but she was about, "I got a boyfriend." It's like, oh, good thing I didn't ask, dude. Oh, okay. Do guys do that? I don't know. I've never heard a guy say, "This is my girlfriend's shirt." "Oh, this is my girlfriend's." "Oh, my girlfriend told me." Guys don't. Maybe that's it. That's it right there. Maybe that's it. Because if I'm trying to fuck you, oh, and I am, by the way, I am. They're gonna make like, bro, like on some Ted Bundy shit. I'm trying to fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Not on the murder Ted Bundy shit, doesn't. But when he's hella cute, he's like, the girl said he was good looking. That's the type of good looking I want to be. Where if I say, "Hey, you want to come help me change my oil?" and a girl doesn't even know how to change oil, she's like, "Yeah, I'll go change oil," because that's how good looking you are. They'll go change the oil for you. But like I said, guys don't say that, bro. They don't plug their girlfriend in every conversation. And maybe we should. Maybe we should, so females can see how fucking annoying it is, dude. Like, "Oh, hey, I'm not trying to suck your dick, bro. I just asked what type of jacket you have." You could have just said Hot Topic. But then, see, the guy version would be more... I think if the guy started saying that, it would be like, "Fuck, bro, I'm not trying to fuck you, dude." But girls, it makes it sound like that too with girls, dude. Now we can't ask them anything? Imagine asking somebody, like you worked at a store, you're like, "Hey, I need my schedule changed. No, I have a boyfriend, dude." I have a boyfriend. It's like, "Oh, but I didn't ask." That's what we got to start saying. And it leads into this, Justin. And it doesn't. It does, but it doesn't. And you'll find out why in a second. Yeah, I almost said it like Trump, like it does, but it doesn't, okay? The next one, when girls, well, not girls, not every girl does this, but women with kids, right? The girls that are like club rats and the girls that are huge fuck ups. I'm talking like they go out every night. They don't see their kids like that. Grandma gets a lot of the mom time. We know a couple personally.
A couple of those.
Yeah, a couple of those personally. Grandma's more of her mom than she is. Oh, yeah. And what's better is every time you go to their social media, in their bio, mommy of 2, they're my world. Aiden's my baby.
I was going to say Aiden.
Yeah. It's always an Aiden.
Aiden's mommy.
Yeah, Aiden's mommy. Aiden's my baby. My kids are my world. Oh, are they your world? Because you have not been home for a week. So whose world are those kids? You've been at the club. You literally had a tent inside because you didn't want to leave. And you slept there. But Aiden and Jaden are your world. It's like, and it's, dude, that's the biggest red flag with females. If you go to a female's page, I'm exposing them. I'm on their head right now. There's about to be a lot of women who switch their profile. When you go to their profile, fellas, and it's not even just fellas, like if you're lesbian too, and you like girls, if you go to a girl's profile and it says mommy of 2, they're my world, back out, block her. It's the biggest red flag. It literally is the biggest red flag. If you have to tell the world that you're Aiden's mommy, I want to know who watches Aiden. Who's Aiden's grandma? Because grandma's probably the chief. Grandma's probably in charge. Let's be real. Grandma's probably the one making the rules. And you have to ask grandma to see your kid. That's what it is. I mean, is it not what it is? It's the biggest red flag. Guys don't do that, bro. Have you ever seen a guy on his profile say, father of 2, I'm Aiden's papa? No, bro. We don't want girls knowing we have kids, man. You know what I mean? We don't want girls knowing we have kids with someone else.
That's some dog shit.
Yeah, bro. Like, have you, before we continue this, have you seen that in a guy's profile? Exactly. It doesn't exist. It's always the moms that say, oh, Aiden's my world. Aiden's my king. If Aiden's your king, then grandma's watching him every weekend. That's what it is, dude. Which then leads into meme of the week, bro. So, up on the screen right here, and this is the internet's like favorite couple right now. Yeah, right? Like they're kind of annoying as fuck too.
No, that's just.
What are they emojis or something?
No,
I don't.
It's from they edited it to be like a black couple, obviously, but it comes from like a whole other template.
I kind of feel bad now. I kind of feel bad that I'm posting. You know what I mean? Like this is given. You know what I mean? Like.
It's from that meme that you see me and Cole post all the time.
Yeah.
Where it's like that fucking depressed white guy.
Yeah, I know.
It's
so there's like that version of it.
That turned into another version of something else, and then these people made it so it's like a black guy and a black girl.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go march if I post this meme. I'm gonna have to go fucking march somewhere to prove that I'm not. You know what I mean? But anyways, long story short, so he goes, it's over. She goes, so you giving up on our child? And he goes, nah, just you. I'm not giving up on the kid, you. And what does she say? Child support. She walks away, says child support. Bro, again, we said it with the Aiden's mommy, Aiden's, why do we know hella things like that, dude? I'm starting to think that this is a mental illness, bro. Is it not a mental illness? Bro, guys, raise your hand right now if you're listening, and raise your hand if you're watching. And by the way, guys, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, you're going to have to come to YouTube to see the meme. You're literally going to have to come to YouTube to see the meme. But raise your hand right now with me if you relate to this meme. I guarantee you right now, you're all raising your hand. If you have a baby, yeah. He's raising his hand. If you have a baby mama, chances are, and I'm going to make up this percentage. I literally made it up, but it's real. It's true. It's true, but it's fake. You always got to give a fake percentage, but it's true though, because you can't prove it. 95% of men who have baby mamas fall into this, bro. I don't know what it's mental illness, bro. Like the girl said, if you don't fuck me, you can't fuck anybody in this family. That's what it is, bro. Is that not true? Is it not true?
It's more like if you don't fuck me, I'm fucking you.
Basically, Like, why can't I be there for Aiden? We're going to use Aiden as an example because he's everybody's fucking king, apparently. Why can't I be there for Aiden and buy him Jordans and not have to talk to you? Why can't that be a thing? You know what really pisses me off about this too? A guy made this child support rule up. If we go back in time for anything, it's to get rid of that guy who made up child support.
A guy made up the rule that you have to pay.
I'm looking it up.
So now I'm going back in time and we're getting rid of him. The second he starts bringing that idea up in a circle of guys, like, hey, I think we should do it to, like, if a man leaves hey, you, shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude. Hey, you know what's not a good idea? Child support, dude. That's not a good idea. How about that, dude? Whoever made that rule, he's not showing up to work tomorrow. You know why? Because we buried him alive, dude. We buried him alive. He's out in Las Vegas somewhere. He is out in Las Vegas. In a hole. Let's not. So what? Did a dog make it up or something? Or
I don't know. It says President Gerald Ford.
so a
But it
president.
says it was just the system that was set up while he was president. It doesn't say like who specifically.
Well, I'm hoping it wasn't a guy who was in a room full of other guys and said, hey, you know what would be a good idea? We take money from the guy's paycheck and give it to the woman. And everybody was probably like, no. We're going back in time. This is for you, Josh. And this is for you, Zach. And for any other guy that I've ever known. Oh, yeah, but you used to be. We're going back in time. This is for you, bro. This is for any guy that's ever been fucked by the system. If you've been fucked by the system, I'm going back in time for you. Gerald Ford. President Gerald Ford. They say Trump's the worst president of all time. No, Gerald fucking Ford is, dude. Gerald Ford is the worst president of all time now. Child support? I think not. Oh, you want me to take care of my own kid? I think not, dude. No, I'm playing.
President Gerald Ford, but why is that a picture of Bill Clinton?
He's I'm
What's
gonna
Photoshop
bet
is
child
fucked, too?
support. I did it for Hillary. Third strike, you're out.
Yeah, Bill Clinton's the last motherfucker to be talking about child support.
Yeah, motherfucker, it was back page here. It was back page. No, so I like dads who take care of their kids. You guys are awesome dads. Child support is, I guess, in some ways, like, you know what I mean? But it's not, what I mean? We gotta ixnay on the child support, say, you know what I mean, dude? Like, we can't do it no more, dude. You know how bad it got for Josh? How depressed he was? I never want to see him that depressed again. That's how depressed Josh was. You come home, you're happy. No, because who's the guy from the Christmas Carol, the main character? Mr. Scrooge? That's how this guy was for a couple months. He would just open the mail. Again? Fuck! You could hear squeak. Bro, that was painful to watch. As a family member. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna go get a tattoo. You want one? No, I've been fucking, it's like, you get it because the bolts are coming off his head. He's like Frankenstein with like the bolts and like the thunder and like it's like angry and you just don't want to see any family member like that, honestly. So, but yeah, comment below if you hate child support. Nah, I'm not picking you, man. Hey, comment below if you don't like your money being taken from you. You know what I mean? Hey, did you get Aiden his new shoes? No, I went to the club with the child support money. So can you give me money to give him shoes? Like it's like the guy has to pretend like he's not angry. Like okay, wow. Why can't you and your new boyfriend get him the shoes? Because my new boyfriend doesn't work. He doesn't work. He sits at home and he doesn't watch our kids. So who watches the kids? I don't know. The dog. A Dutch hound. No, it's not called a Dutch hound. What's the name of it? What is the name of that dog? Almost every fucking mom has it,
What you're
dude.
thinking of? I just don't know how to pronounce it.
What did Ben's dog Onyx used to be? What was that? What kind of dog was that?
Pomeranian?
Yeah, every mom has a Pomeranian. Like Jeffree Star. There's like 3 Pomeranians who can't breathe and just yap and hide under the bed when they hear loud noises but bark at everything because they're, so yeah. So the last two topics we're coming up on those. It's kind of weird to go into this topic because it's really a big shift of tone here. But have you and Justin, have you guys heard of a lady named Olivia Mabel? Probably not. So the reason I'm bringing this story up is because her death, I read about her death the other day. It's creepy. It is so Olivia Mabel and her husband Travis Mabel, they have a ranch in Texas, and it's the ranch was actually in Salina, Texas, right? This happened in the 90s, by the way. They have a son, right? And bro, they have a son, and we're gonna pause the video because if this little fucking kid's son is named Aiden, I'm going to fucking freak right now. If it's Aiden, Justin, I'm gonna freak, dude. If it's Aiden.
That Olivia has finally been reunited with her beloved Aiden.
It's Aiden! The kid I'm talking about is named Aiden? Okay, that's creepy. We get into Aiden earlier. We talk about Aiden again, and now the story. Okay. Off that. So Travis and Olivia Mabel, they live in Salina, Texas on a ranch, okay? So they have a son who you guys just heard named Aiden, and this was in the 90s, okay? They live on a 13-acre property, okay? They live on 13 acres worth of a ranch. One day the son's like, hey, mom, can I go out and play? She's like, yeah, go have fun. He goes outside. He doesn't come home, and it's 5:30. So they're like, hey, maybe he's just outside having fun. He forgot the time. Let's go check on him. So they go outside. He's floating in the pond. Like he's dead, right? It's a huge tragedy. Like, his death, like, shook them to the core. They were not able to, like, their marriage basically couldn't last, right? It was just super sad. The husband, Travis, moves to the East Coast. She stays on the ranch, okay? So the story gets creepy because for the next, I would say, I think it was like 4 or 5 years, like no one really saw her. No neighbors really saw her. Nobody, like she wouldn't answer calls, but she would have groceries delivered to the house, right? So neighbors were like, hey, I wonder if she still lives there. So one day, 911 gets three calls from that property, right? But nothing talks on the other end of those calls. It was just like eerie silence type stuff, right? So the police go out there. The police like basically break through her door, right? And the house looked like it had been unkept. There's like spider webs. It was dust. Literally like someone had not been there type shit, right? So that's the first part of the creepiness. As they go in further to the house, right? Every other room looks like that. Cobwebs, dust, it hasn't been touched. Except for the son Aiden's room. The son Aiden's room is perfectly clean. There's no dust. There's no cobwebs. It's basically in pristine condition, right? But when they go into the son's room, in the middle of the room in a rocking chair is the mom, Olivia Mabel, and she's dead. She's dead in the rocking chair, and she's holding like a makeshift doll that kind of resembles her son. The cops that came to the scene, they're like, hey, it looks like she's been dead for months, right? So they're looking around. She's been dead. They look around the house. There was no forced entry. No one had been through the doors. The windows were locked. So it gets even creepier because when they go to the house's phone, that too hadn't been picked up, right? So they're like, okay, who made the 911 calls? Like it gets creepier than this. So in front of where she's dead, there's like a dresser, and it has like a makeshift little memorial for him. And there's letters that she had wrote to him, right? Like heartbreaking letters, obviously. Like a grieving mother is not, it's probably super difficult. One of the letters, Justin, was dated from that day. And one of the letters was like creepy, like basically like, and I'll play it real quick because it's super short.
I'm leaving.
Right here.
My Aiden, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I should have never let it get like this. I'm leaving. I will not let you keep me, you vile, evil creature. Mummy's coming for you. Aiden. My sweet Aiden, Mommy loves you.
So that was the letter left on the desk, and it was dated for that day. So on the side of the desk, there's like these symbols and stuff. So they looked up what the symbols were, and basically what they think she was doing was participating in something called thought form. And like a lot of Buddhist monks talk about it. There's like basically it's a thing where they say if you think hard enough or you like focus hard enough and you have a lot of isolation and like you can make an entity appear. Like you can make beings appear to resemble what you want them to resemble, right? The reason they don't think a lot of people should perform thought form is because, you don't know what you're summoning. Like if you're not like an expert or like trained in it, you could be summoning something that pretends to be your son.
How do you become an expert in summoning something?
Well, then, okay, and
without trying to do it?
okay, that's a good question because I told Emily the same thing, right? I was like, wait, how do you become an expert in something if like you don't have any, like, like how do you even, it's probably years and generations of practice and like, So, the officer on the scene was like, hey, when we came into the house, like it felt like a very angry vibe. There was it felt like an oppressed feeling. The owner of the house, so it said the owner of the house couldn't sell the house for the next 25 years. And every time he would try to bring like a ghost hunter or those type of people, like sidekicks or people to come look at the house, they wouldn't even want to go in. They were like, hey, like the second I walked in, it feels like I can't breathe. Like it feels like really dark here. Like it's something that we can't explain type shit. So to end the story, it gets kind of creepier because so you can look up the son's death certificate, and the mom and the dad are on the death certificate as being his parents, but you can't find her death certificate, the mom. And people were like, hey, this should have been like, if it's not national news, this should at least been picked up by the local news. Like, this is hella creepy. Why wasn't this picked up by the local news? Some people were like, hey, maybe her family didn't want her death to be out there like that. Maybe this was too much for them to want made public. And a lot of people thought it was like a film student's way of like viral marketing. Like the Blair Witch Project? It was basically like their version of it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that like her story's not true. Right? It just means that something fishy is going on here. A lot of people in the comment section of this story were saying it's fake. But like, there's still like the ranch exists. The son's birth certificate be found. Maybe, I don't know. The creepy part is that like, who made the 911 calls then? And who wrote the letter that was dated for that day if she was already dead in the rocking chair for what seemed to be months leading up to that point? Like that, dude, I watched it the other night. And mind you, don't look up this case if you smoke weed. Like if you smoke weed, bro, don't look this up. I was in the room the other night. I was like to my core, like, whoa, bro, what? She what? I don't know. You guys look it up. Her name's Olivia Mabel. I'll leave a link to the video I just played below. And yeah, to end off tonight, this might be spoilerish, by the way, guys. Have you guys seen WandaVision? Okay, it's a new Disney Plus show about Vision and, obviously the Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda Maximoff. And the first 2 episodes came out on Disney Plus. And like I said, spoilers, guys. But both episodes are in black and white. I don't know if people are, that's so like, I get where they're going with it because it's supposed to like pay homage to like, I Love Lucy, those type of shows. And, like the old sitcoms, like the wife stays home and the husband works and, oh, I didn't cook the dinner. And like, so if you can get past that trope, like the show, I don't even know how to explain it because I don't want to sound like a Marvel fanboy.
I mean, there's trailers that show it in full color and everything. So
yeah, so you already know the episodes are going to get to that point where it's full color, which I think what they're doing is because I saw a pop figure today at the mall where it said WandaVision on the pop figure, then it said Wanda from the 70s. So I think what they're doing is they're going, like every decade or so. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people didn't like this show. When you go online and you look it up and you go to Reddit forums, Twitter, like just forums where you can read it, a lot of people didn't like it. Rickey was one of them. He thought it was boring. He couldn't even finish the episode type shit. So I don't want to say it's boring, but I also don't want to say it's hella good. But I understand it's a season that we're still yet to see fully.
Yeah, it could just be bad episodes.
It could just be the first 2 episodes, or just they start off slow and then we get into the good stuff. You can already tell that something big's happening in the show, but they haven't revealed it yet. There's a scene where I think it's like the beginning of episode 2 where like a little toy helicopter crashes in Wanda's front yard by a bush. And that's the only thing in the show that's in color. And it's the color of Iron Man, like, you know, yellow and red. And she like looks at it. She looks hella freaked out. She tries to hide it from her neighbor. She tries to hide that from her neighbor. So this was supposed to be the opening of the next phase of Marvel anyways, right? Like this was supposed to lead off the next phase that would go into Strange, like Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I'm thinking Wanda fucks up something when she tries to do like her own reality type stuff. She must have like done something to where like this starts to open up, like, you know, it's like the rumored Spider-Man rumors where Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield are coming in. So I think that she must have messed up something to where like Doctor Strange has to go in and fix it, or I'm not sure. If you can get past like the homage to like the old shows, it's not bad. But I mean, like, I don't know what to say, because like I don't want to sit here and like the people are gonna be like, well, you're a Marvel fanboy, and it's like, I guess, like, I don't know what to say. Like, obviously, like compared to the Mandalorian, no, but it's weird seeing. Like, I don't even think. Let me put it this way: it's weird seeing the actors who played them in the movies be on a TV show. Like, Justin, imagine like literally Robert Downey Jr. has an Iron Man show. It'd be a little weird at first, right? Like, you're on a TV show, like but you're from the movies, and most people are gonna be like, does this show like involve the movies now, or is it in the same universe? Which, yes, it is in the same universe.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people are gonna be like, but Punisher wasn't, but is Daredevil and is Jessica Jones, like, so I get like where the confusion would start at. And I get it's weird probably seeing Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, like they're from the movies, but they're in the TV show. So, and I know a lot of older fans are going to like it, you know, like probably like our moms and grandmas and shit. Like, is it, again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's like you're basically like, it's basically like old sitcoms, like old TV shows. And like, and it's like Wanda's in a different reality where she gets to be with Vision, obviously. You know, if you guys haven't seen fucking Infinity War, just don't watch this video at all, actually, if you haven't seen Infinity War. But just click off my channel, unsubscribe. Can you imagine? Hella people unsubscribe. But yeah, that's my take on WandaVision so far. I will give a full review once the whole season's done. From the first 2 episodes, I won't spoil too much. The mom from That 70s Show's in there. She's Paul Bettany's boss's wife in the first episode. And it's just hella fun. All I see is Kitty, bro. I'm sorry. Like, all I see is Kitty when she talks. She even does like, it was like hella funny, dude. One of my favorite scenes that I can give you guys was she's at like this so all her neighbors' wives get together, and there's like this one neighbor wife that's like, she's like the top wife and like is rude, and Wanda's trying to talk to her like, hey, I think you got off on the wrong foot. Wanda's like, hey, we got off on Wanda's like, hey, we got off on the wrong foot. Is there anything I can do to fix that? And she's like, you know, and Wanda starts being in a place where, Justin, imagine you're in a different reality, right? And you're talking to me. But then I stare at you and I go, Justin, I know what you're doing here. Get out of here now. It's like, you know, it starts to be like, wait a minute, what? And they're like, and then you go back to normal. It's like, oh, anyways, did you get the lemonade? It's like, so I think the reality she's in is starting to like crumble. That's what it seems like. So it's, you know, but yeah. To end off the episode, guys, if you guys already haven't, because Sebastian did, he sent me a screenshot. Good boy, Sebastian. He subscribed to Spotify, Apple Podcast. I almost said Apple Pie. Subscribe to Apple Pie for the latest podcast. But yeah, do that, guys, because the stats are looking good. Oh, they're looking good. We were up 17% on the audio version. So keep it up, dude. You know what I mean? If you get sick of looking at me, you're not gonna get sick of listening to me. That was one of Emily's friends said that, by the way. She was like, oh, I like his voice. I was like, oh, yeah. So yeah, until next time, guys. Out.